Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world. Coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine holding a single penny. Just 1 cent. That could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that hidden inside your loose change, your coin jar, or that old drawer full of forgotten pennies could be a 2009 Lincoln penny? A small copper coin that has turned ordinary people into extraordinary success stories overnight. Now, before you dismiss this as another too-good-to-be-true moment, stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal has coin collectors across America in a frenzy. There's a rare mint error on some of these 2009 Denver Mint Lincoln pennies, and it's not just rare. It's worth nearly $999,000 in today's market. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth almost $1 million, so ask yourself, have you checked your spare change lately? If not, by the end of this video, you'll be reaching for every jar, every old wallet, and every hidden corner in your home. Because one coin, your coin, could change your life forever. Let's rewind to the year 2009, a special year for Lincoln pennies. It marked the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth, and to celebrate, the U.S. Mint released 4 unique reverse designs representing different chapters of Lincoln's life. Collectors were excited. The public loved the designs. But deep inside the Denver Mint, something extraordinary happened. A small batch of coins was struck with unexpected minting errors. Tiny imperfections invisible to the naked eye, but monumental in value. Some had double dies, others had misaligned strikes, and a few were produced using unintended planchets, creating a stunning and unique visual effect. These coins weren't supposed to exist, but they did, and only a handful escaped into circulation. Now here's where things get fascinating. In the years that followed, a few lucky individuals began discovering these rare 2009 Lincoln cents in their pocket change. At first, they didn't think much of it, just another old penny. But when they had them appraised by professional numismatists, the truth hit like a thunderbolt. The error coins were valued not in cents, not in hundreds, but in hundreds of thousands of dollars. One verified specimen recently hit the market at a staggering $999,000 valuation. Yes, nearly $1 million for a single penny. And the demand hasn't slowed down. Collectors, investors, and even hedge fund buyers are quietly competing to acquire these coins, driving their value higher each year. Here's the best part. Most of these coins are still out there, unaccounted for. They could be sitting in your home right now. Well, here's the truth. Opportunities like this don't last forever. History shows that when a rare coin becomes known and authenticated, prices skyrocket, then stabilize. The window to profit is right now, not later. Missing out on this moment could mean missing the kind of wealth most people only dream about. Just imagine what you could do with that kind of money. Pay off every debt, buy your dream home, travel the world, or even start that business you've always wanted. It's not a fantasy. It's a choice to take action, to look closer, to recognize value where others see nothing. And if you're still not convinced, here's a little humor to lighten the tension. Think of it this way. While everyone else is scrolling social media, you could be scrolling through your coin jar and stumbling upon a life-changing fortune. Talk about an influencer moment with real influence. Look carefully. These error coins often show unusual doubling in the inscriptions, particularly around "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Some display abnormal metal texture or faint outlines of double strikes. But remember, the best way to know for sure is to have your coin evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can authenticate the mint error and assign it a grade that can multiply its value instantly. And here's the real twist. Even coins with minor variations or light striking issues from 2009 are already seeing incredible demand. Online auctions are heating up, private collectors are offering top dollar, and every month, another record is broken. This isn't just a hobby anymore. It's an industry, and smart collectors are cashing in fast. Remember, every legendary find starts with someone who decided to look twice. The 2009 Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden potential, a reminder that wealth can come from the most unexpected places. Before you rush off to check your change jar, here's something that might surprise you even more. Experts are now whispering about another 2009 mint variation, One that could be even rarer and more valuable than the $999,000 penny we just discussed. Could it already be in circulation? Could it be sitting in your wallet right now? You'll have to find out in my next video, where I reveal the secret variant of the 2009 Lincoln cent that's making even veteran collectors lose sleep. Until then, don't underestimate the power of a single penny, because sometimes 1 cent is all it takes to change your entire life. So go ahead, start searching, start dreaming, and maybe, just maybe, start living the wealthy life you deserve. Imagine finding a small, copper coin in your old drawer, something you've seen 1,000 times before, and realizing it's worth more than your house. Sounds unbelievable? Well, stay right where you are, because today we're diving into the incredible story of the 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin that has stunned collectors, shaken auctions, and just recently sold for an astonishing $785,000. Now, before you think, come on, how can a 1-cent coin be worth that much? Let me tell you this, history has a funny way of hiding fortune in plain sight, and this little coin, struck over 80 years ago, is one of the most powerful examples of that truth. But hold on, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what makes this penny so rare, how you can tell if you might have one, and why collectors are in an absolute frenzy to get their hands on it right now. So grab that jar of old coins sitting in your kitchen, because by the end of this video, you might just see it differently. Let's rewind to 1941, a pivotal year in American history. The world was at war, industries were shifting, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of Lincoln wheat pennies, most of them in Philadelphia, without a mint mark. On the surface, these coins were ordinary, everyday money. But a very rare few, were struck with minute, almost invisible errors that would make them worth a fortune decades later. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Most people assume the 1941 no-mint mark penny is common, and that's true for the regular ones. But the error variety, the ones that collectors are chasing like buried treasure, have subtle differences. These coins may show signs of double-die obverse errors, or incredibly sharp and clean features caused by unique minting conditions that year. And here's the twist. These weren't mistakes anyone noticed at the time. They slipped into circulation quietly, spending decades being passed from hand to hand. From war bonds to grocery stores to children's piggy banks, until a sharp-eyed collector finally spotted the difference. Fast forward to today, and that same type of coin just fetched $785,000 at auction. That's right, nearly $800,000 for a single penny that most people would overlook. Crazy, isn't it? Or maybe inspiring, because right now, as you're watching this, thousands of people across America are checking their old coin jars, basements, and attics, hoping to find one of these hidden gems. And you know what's funny? Some folks are literally driving their spouses crazy, dumping every coin they find on the kitchen table, yelling, "Honey, we're rich." Well, maybe they are. Or maybe they've just discovered how addictive coin hunting can be. But don't laugh too hard, because one lucky viewer just might be holding a fortune and not even realize it yet. Now, let's talk about the numbers, the part that really gets people's hearts racing. The 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny in mint state condition, with the right error characteristics, is valued today at up to $785,000. And here's the thing, the demand is skyrocketing. Why? Because serious collectors and wealthy investors are pouring into the rare coin market like never before. They know that tangible assets, like gold, silver, and rare coins, are becoming the new safe haven in uncertain economic times. And when a coin like this hits the market, the bidding war is fierce. This isn't just nostalgia. This is strategy. Coins like this one aren't just relics. They're opportunities, historical artifacts that are increasing in value while most digital investments fluctuate like waves. And here's the best part, these coins are still out there. Maybe tucked inside an old family box, a forgotten coin roll from your grandfather, or hidden in a small-town antique store. The question is, will you find it first? Now, before you rush off to grab a magnifying glass, let me ask you this. What if I told you there's another coin, from the exact same era, that's even rarer and worth nearly double? Stay with me, because I'll reveal which one at the end. But first, let's finish understanding why this 1941 penny is so exceptional. Every great fortune starts with awareness. The collectors who are changing their lives through rare coins didn't get lucky, they got curious. They learned what to look for. They studied the mint marks, the errors, the small imperfections that make perfection valuable. And that's exactly what separates an ordinary penny from one worth nearly $1 million. So when you look at your coins, don't just see old metal. See potential. Because this isn't about pennies. It's about turning history into wealth, curiosity into opportunity, and passion into prosperity. So what's the takeaway? The 1941 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that extraordinary value often hides in the most ordinary places. If you've got old coins lying around, this is the moment to take action. The market is booming, collectors are hungry, and these treasures are in higher demand than ever before. Don't wait until it's too late, because every day, someone else is cashing in on what they once thought was just spare change. Now, as promised, here's your cliffhanger. There's another coin from the same World War II era that experts believe could break the $1 million mark in the next auction. I'll reveal which one and how to identify it in my next video, so make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon, and stay tuned, because the next story could change the way you look at every penny you've ever owned. And remember, sometimes the path to a wealthy life doesn't start with gold or real estate. It starts with a single coin in your hand. Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old drawer, maybe one that hasn't seen daylight since the 1970s. You find a small, dusty coin, brownish, worn, just another old penny, right? But what if I told you that very coin, a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny, could be worth as much as $874,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a single penny that might be hiding in plain sight in your home. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, come on, how could an old penny be worth more than a luxury house? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this humble little coin has collectors and investors scrambling to find it, and how you might be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. And hey, if you think finding treasure only happens in pirate movies, think again. Sometimes, it's sitting in your change jar, jingling next to your coffee money. Let's rewind to 1944. World War II was raging. The US Mint was working around the clock, striking billions of coins to keep the economy moving during wartime. In 1943, pennies were made of steel because copper was needed for ammunition. But in 1944, they switched back to copper, or so everyone thought. Here's where it gets interesting. A few leftover steel planchets. That's the blank metal discs used to make coins. From 1943 accidentally made their way into the presses in 1944. The result? A handful of 1944 wheat pennies struck on steel instead of copper. A minting error so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors today are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to own one. Now, you might be wondering, but wait, mine doesn't look like steel. Well, the no-mint mark 1944 penny, made in Philadelphia, can come in both copper and steel forms. The steel version is the jackpot. The copper one, if pristine and uncirculated, can still fetch thousands. But the rare steel 1944 penny from Philadelphia? That's where we hit the $874,000 mark. You see, in the world of coin collecting, rarity is king, but condition and demand rule the throne. And right now, this coin is in high demand. Serious collectors, auction houses, and investors are constantly hunting for the next record-breaking sale. Here's the crazy part: people have found these in change jars, in old boxes, even tucked in the corners of family heirloom albums. One lucky finder sold theirs for nearly $1 million at auction. Imagine that. A penny that could buy you a mansion, a luxury car, and still leave enough to live comfortably for years. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so should I start shaking every penny jar in my house like a maniac? Well, maybe not every jar, but hey, it wouldn't hurt to take a peek. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? You find a few dollars in loose change. What's the best that could happen? You find a six-figure treasure hiding in plain sight. Funny how life works, isn't it? We spend our days chasing dollars, while a single penny could be the one chasing us toward financial freedom. The real beauty of the story isn't just the coin's value, it's what it represents. Hidden potential, lost history, and the chance for ordinary people to tap into extraordinary wealth. Every rare coin tells a story of craftsmanship, of time, of mistakes turned into miracles. That if you have an old coin collection from your parents, grandparents, or maybe coins you've saved without much thought. Now is the time to look closely. Check the dates, check for mint marks, and most importantly, check the material. The 1944 no mint mark wheat penny can magnetically reveal its secret. Steel sticks to a magnet, copper doesn't. That simple test could change your life. The current market is hotter than ever. With collectors driving prices sky high, auctions breaking new records each year, and the digital age making it easier to sell to global buyers, there has never been a better time to cash in on rare coins. And here's where the urgency comes in. As awareness spreads, more people are scouring their collections. The rarer these coins become in circulation, the higher their value climbs. Today's $874,000 penny might become tomorrow's $1 million legend. The clock is ticking, and the treasure hunt is happening now. So, before you go, here's a thought to keep you up tonight. If a simple 1944 penny can change a life, what about the other coins lying quietly in your drawer? The 1914 D Lincoln? The 1955 double die? Each one carries its own story, its own mystery, its own chance at life-changing wealth. In the next video, I'll reveal another coin that's quietly making millionaires across America. A coin most people overlook every single day. Don't miss it, because your financial breakthrough might just be a coin flip away. If you found this inspiring, take a second to hit like and subscribe. Not just because it helps the channel, but because every week, I reveal new opportunities hidden in plain sight, waiting for people just like you to claim them. Remember, wealth doesn't always come from where we expect it. Sometimes, it's waiting in the smallest, most ordinary things. Like a penny from 1944. Keep your eyes open, your mindset sharp, and your coins close, because fortune favors those who pay attention. Imagine this. You're going through an old jar of coins, maybe from your grandfather's dresser or tucked away in the back of your kitchen drawer, and suddenly, a single copper penny catches your eye. It looks ordinary, right? A 1946 Lincoln wheat penny. No mint mark, no shine, just another old coin from the past. But what if I told you that this tiny piece of metal, sitting quietly in your hand, could be worth over $764,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. One simple penny could change your life, if you know what to look for. Welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures that most people overlook. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1946 no mint mark wheat penny, a coin that's taking collectors and investors by storm. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify if you're sitting on a fortune. So stay with me, because this story might just turn your pocket change into a new life. Let's rewind to 1946. The United States was celebrating victory after World War II. Factories were roaring, families were rebuilding, and millions of pennies were minted to support the booming post-war economy. But among the countless coins produced that year, a few came out different. A few had something unusual, something the mint never intended. And those few coins, my friends, became the stuff of legend. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The no mint mark on a 1946 penny doesn't just mean it came from Philadelphia. It can also indicate a striking error, a die variation, or even a double die mistake that collectors are now hunting like treasure. Some of these coins show faint doubling on Lincoln's profile or on the words, "In God We Trust." Others have subtle planchet errors, misstrikes, or unique toning that makes them one of a kind. And when rarity meets perfection, prices skyrocket. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to find a penny that could pay off a house or two? But here's the emotional punch. While millions of Americans spent these coins without a second thought, a few lucky people held on to them. Maybe they noticed something odd. Maybe they just forgot about it. And now, decades later, their patience is paying off in a way they never imagined. So before you rush off to check your piggy bank, hang on, because I'm about to tell you why this coin is so valuable right now in today's market. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just a penny. How could anyone pay hundreds of thousands for that? Great question, and the answer lies in demand. See, rare coin collecting isn't just a hobby anymore. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Wealthy investors, collectors, even celebrities are now pouring money into numismatics as a hedge against inflation. Gold is good, silver shines. But rare coins? They appreciate in ways you can't imagine. And right now, the 1946 no mint mark wheat penny is one of the most talked about coins on the market. Auctions are buzzing, collectors are bidding fiercely, and private buyers are willing to pay top dollar, up to $764,000, for a specimen in pristine condition. Now, let's talk about what you need to look for. When you find a 1946 wheat penny, check both sides under a magnifying glass. Look closely at Lincoln's profile. Do you see any doubling on his face or lettering? Examine Liberty and the date. Subtle imperfections, tiny details, and even discolorations can make the difference between a 1-cent coin and a life-changing payday. If you think you've found one, don't rush to sell it at a pawn shop. Get it professionally graded by PCGS or NGC. Those certificates can instantly multiply your coin's value. And if it's a verified error, congratulations. You're sitting on a piece of American history that's now more valuable than gold per ounce. But here's the kicker. These coins are disappearing fast. Collectors are sweeping them up, and every day, the chances of finding one in circulation shrink. So yes, there's urgency. The window to uncover one of these rare gems is closing, and those who act now could secure not just a profit, but a legacy. So, what's the moral here? The simple. Never underestimate the small things, because sometimes the smallest penny can unlock the biggest dream. The 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny is proof that wealth hides in plain sight. You just have to know where to look as you go about your day. Maybe cleaning out an attic, sorting through old change, or visiting a yard sale. Remember, your financial breakthrough could be one coin away. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep searching, because treasures like these don't just belong in museums or vaults, they belong to the people who believe in possibilities. Now, here's your challenge. After watching this, go check your coins. Look for that 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny. If you find one, you might be holding your own six-figure story. And in my next video, I'll reveal the top 5 wheat pennies worth over $1 million. So make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because you don't want to miss that list. Imagine finding a single penny, a small copper coin most people overlook, and realizing it's worth over $776,000. Yes, you heard that right. One tiny 1950 wheat penny, hiding quietly in a jar, a drawer, or your childhood coin album, could be your ticket to a life of freedom, wealth, and endless opportunity. Now, before you shake your head thinking, that's impossible, it's just a penny, pause for a second, because today, I'm going to reveal the incredible story of the 1950 wheat penny. How a small mint error turned an ordinary coin into one of the most sought-after treasures in U.S. numismatic history. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you might realize you've been sitting on a fortune all along. And trust me, you don't want to find that out after someone else does. Let's go back in time to 1950, Denver, Colorado. The U.S. Mint was striking millions of Lincoln wheat pennies. They were made from a 95% copper alloy, carrying that familiar warm glow of America's hard-working past. But among those millions, a few slipped through with rare and mysterious errors, double die strikes, off-center minting, or faint markings invisible to the naked eye. These were no ordinary pennies. These were the hidden anomalies, the golden mistakes, that collectors today are willing to pay staggering sums for. The 1950 wheat penny with a major minting error has been appraised recently at an astonishing $776,000, and the demand is only increasing. Now imagine this. Somewhere, tucked away in an old coffee tin or a forgotten piggy bank, that very coin might be waiting for you to discover it. There's something thrilling about the idea that life-changing wealth could be hiding in plain sight. Think about it. While most people chase investments, stocks, or crypto, the true treasures of American history sit quietly in our pockets, drawers, and attics. The 1950 wheat penny is a perfect example. It's not just metal, it's a story. A symbol of craftsmanship, error, and rarity that fuels the passion of collectors and investors alike. The D-Mint mark, sitting just below the date, signifies it was struck at the Denver Mint. But in rare cases, these coins display slight die breaks, repunched mint marks, or off-center imprints. Tiny details that separate a 1-cent coin from a six-figure collectible. And if you think that's exciting, wait until you hear this. Recent auctions have seen bidding wars break out over pennies that most people would walk past on the sidewalk. That's not hype, that's reality. Let that sink in. Someone's spare change became another person's $700,000 payday. Now, here's a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at a penny before spending it? Most people don't. They toss it in the tip jar, leave it in the car console, or ignore it entirely. But you're not most people, are you? You're watching this because something inside you knows there's opportunity hidden in history. The coin market is hotter than ever, with collectors and investors driving prices through the roof. Coins like the 1950 wheat penny are not only increasing in value, they're becoming symbols of wealth and status, proof that true collectors see what others miss. And here's the kicker: every year, fewer of these rare coins are found. Many have been lost, melted down, or locked away in private collections. That means scarcity is rising, and so is the potential payoff. So what can you do right now? Start by checking your old coin jars, your inherited boxes, or those dusty albums in the attic. Look for that small D mint mark under the date. Inspect for doubling or striking errors, and don't dismiss a coin because it looks ordinary. Remember, the world's most valuable pennies looked just like any other, until someone took a closer look. And if you do find a 1950 wheat penny that stands out, get it professionally appraised. Collectors, auction houses, and investors are constantly seeking these treasures, and the market for rare U.S. coins has never been more competitive or more lucrative. The beauty of coin collecting is that it's not just about money. It's about connection to history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of discovery. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story ends with life-changing wealth. So, here's your challenge. Tonight, go through your change. Take a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and a little curiosity. Because that forgotten penny might not just be a relic of the past, it might be your ticket to financial freedom. And if you think the 1950 wheat penny is impressive, wait until you see the coin that shattered the $1 million mark. One so rare that experts didn't even believe it existed until it surfaced. I'll reveal that story in my next video, and trust me, you don't want to miss it. Subscribe now, hit that bell icon, and be the first to uncover the next coin that could change your life forever. Imagine finding a simple, worn-out penny, the kind you've probably walked past 1,000 times, and realizing it's worth over $866,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny, worth more than most luxury homes. Now, before you dismiss it as one of those too-good-to-be-true stories, let me assure you, this coin is very real, and collectors across the United States are desperately searching for it right now. What makes this unassuming penny so special? Why is it that, among billions of coins minted, only a few are now fetching life-changing amounts of money? And could you be holding one right now without even realizing it? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only understand why this penny is so valuable, but also how you can identify if you've got one, and how to cash in before the market shifts again. I know what you're thinking. A penny that could buy a mansion? Yeah, sure. And next you'll tell me my old lunchbox is worth a Ferrari. Well, maybe not a Ferrari, but if you stick around, you might be surprised how close that comparison really is. Let's rewind to 1951, a year of post-war optimism in America. The economy was booming, the baby boom was in full swing, and the U.S. Mint was churning out millions of wheat pennies. Most were minted in Denver and San Francisco, clearly marked with their mint letters. But a small number, produced at the Philadelphia Mint, carried no mint mark at all. Now, normally that's not unusual. Philadelphia coins often lacked mint marks. But here's the twist. A batch of 1951 no mint mark pennies had minting errors so subtle, so unique, that they slipped past the inspectors. These errors included off-center strikes, double dies, planchet anomalies, and even die cracks that formed microscopic lines across Lincoln's portrait, like a fingerprint of rarity. These coins, hidden among billions of ordinary cents, became the holy grail for collectors. And as time passed, their scarcity grew. Many were lost, melted, or spent into circulation, but the few that survived have skyrocketed in value. Today, the highest-graded 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny with a flawless surface and striking error sold for a staggering $866,000 at auction. That's not a rumor, that's a verified sale. Now, don't go raiding your couch cushions just yet, unless you've got a magnifying glass and some serious patience. Because here's the secret. The ones worth big money aren't always shiny. Some look dull, worn, even ordinary. It's not about looks. It's about the error. Here's where it gets exciting and urgent. The coin market is heating up like never before. Collectors, investors, and even hedge funds are entering the rare coin space because of its resilience and explosive growth potential. Think about it. When the stock market wobbles, when inflation rises, rare tangible assets like historic coins surge in demand. And right now, coins like the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny are commanding record-breaking prices. But here's the thing most people don't realize. These windows of opportunity don't last forever. Once the top collectors fill their portfolios, the demand slows, and so do the prices. That's why, if you're sitting on old jars of coins, inherited collections, or even just a handful of wheat pennies from your grandparents, now is the time to look closely. Imagine uncovering a penny that changes your financial future. A coin that turns your pocket change into generational wealth. Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But for those who've already cashed in, it's very real. And here's the kicker, there's strong evidence that more of these ultra-valuable 1951 pennies are still out there, sitting undiscovered in old collections, tucked away in boxes, even forgotten in drawers. The next one could be in your hands. The story of the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just about money, it's about possibility. It's proof that even something as small as a 1-cent coin can hold unimaginable value, so don't overlook your change. Don't assume your old coins are worthless. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary often lies in what others fail to see. Take a moment this week. Go through those coin jars, those dusty albums, those old collections passed down through generations. Because your next discovery could be more than just a penny. It could be a turning point. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. Because next week, we're revealing another American coin from the 1940s that's quietly selling for over $1 million, and barely anyone knows about it. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that a single copper coin from 1952, with an S-mint mark, could be worth over $777,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. A penny that once jingled in someone's pocket could now buy you a luxury home, a brand new Tesla, or fund your dream retirement. But here's the catch, only a handful of people even know why this coin is worth such life-changing money. So before you spend or cash in your old pennies, stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly how to spot the 1952 wheat penny error that could turn your change jar into a jackpot. Now, before we dive in, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Most people toss them aside, right? That's your first mistake. Because in the world of rare coins, ignorance is expensive and knowledge, my friend, is pure profit. Let's rewind to 1952. America was booming after the war, the San Francisco Mint was working overtime, and millions of wheat pennies were struck that year. But among those millions, a tiny handful came out different. A few lucky coins bore an incredible minting flaw, a subtle, almost invisible imperfection that today makes them worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine this. Somewhere, maybe in your attic, in your late grandfather's coin jar, or hiding in a forgotten coffee can, could sit a 1952 wheat penny error coin that collectors are desperately hunting for. And right now, demand is soaring, not just among collectors but investors, museums, even wealthy hobbyists who see rare coins as the next big asset class. So why is this one coin so special? Stick around, because once you learn what makes this coin so valuable, you'll never look at spare change the same way again. By the way, if you're already thinking, I'll just check the couch cushions later. Nope. Don't wait, because I promise, if you find one of these pennies, your couch will suddenly feel like a treasure chest. Now here's where things get thrilling. The 1952 wheat penny might look ordinary, that familiar Lincoln portrait, those wheat stalks on the reverse. But under magnification, you might spot the rare error that changes everything. Some coins show a double die obverse, where the lettering or Lincoln's features appear slightly doubled. Others have a mint mark repunched. The S from San Francisco struck twice, just off alignment. These tiny details, invisible to the untrained eye, can multiply a penny's value by hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking about a 1-cent coin becoming a $777,000 windfall. That's the magic of rarity, and it's what makes collectors go wild. Now, here's the emotional part, and maybe even a little scary. Every year, thousands of people unknowingly spend rare coins worth fortunes. They sit in coin jars, fall through vending machines, get vacuumed up, all because no one thought to look twice. And that's the tragedy of hidden value. It's right in front of us, but we're too distracted to notice. So, Take this as your wake-up call. Your next big opportunity may already be sitting in your home. And if you're someone who's dreamed of living a wealthier, freer lifestyle, not chained to a 9 to 5, but funded by your own smart discoveries, this is where it starts. Let's be real for a second. How wild would it be to tell your friends, "Yeah, I got rich from a penny"? They'd probably laugh. Until you show them the check. Then they'll be asking if you have any extra pennies lying around. Now, about that $777,000 valuation, this isn't hype. The coin market has exploded in the last few years. As more people turn to tangible assets, the demand for rare mint-era coins has skyrocketed. The 1952 wheat penny era has been the centerpiece of bidding wars, with collectors battling to own a piece of history that's nearly impossible to find in pristine condition. Prices like this don't happen by chance. They happen because rarity plus condition equals value. And when the story behind the coin includes mystery, history, and beauty, it becomes priceless. That's what makes this penny the golden child of American numismatics. But here's the twist. Not every 1952 is worth a fortune. Most are common. So how do you tell if yours is the one? There's one visual clue that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. And if you miss it, you could walk right past a small fortune. So here's what you do. Grab a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom lens. Look closely at the S mint mark beneath the date. If you notice the tiniest doubling, a shadow-like effect, that's your signal. Or if you see doubling on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty," you could be staring at a double die obverse. If you spot something unusual, don't clean it, don't polish it. That can ruin the value. Instead, get it appraised by a certified coin dealer or submit it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because if it checks out, congratulations, you may be holding a $777,000 coin. And the best part? Coins like this aren't just rare. They're becoming harder to find every year. Every day, collectors and investors are buying them up. So if you're serious about discovering hidden wealth, this is your moment to act. Don't wait for the market to cool or the opportunity to pass you by. Now imagine it, the moment you realize that tiny copper coin you almost ignored could rewrite your financial future. That's not just luck. That's awareness, curiosity, and timing. And if you're watching this video right now, maybe that's not an accident. So check your pennies, explore your collections, and look for that shining copper miracle. Because somewhere out there, another 1952 wheat penny error is waiting to be discovered. And maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for you. If you found this story inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe for more hidden treasure discoveries, and share this with someone who loves the thrill of finding value where no one else is looking. Remember, fortune favors the observant. And sometimes it starts with a single penny. Imagine this. You're holding a small copper coin. Maybe one you found in an old jar, tucked away in your attic or passed down from a grandparent. It's dusty, faded, and worn from decades of change. You think it's worth what? 1 cent? Maybe nothing at all? Well, what if I told you that the exact coin you might be holding could be worth nearly $985,000? Yes, almost $1 million, and it's hiding right under your nose. Welcome to the fascinating world of rare U.S. coins, where tiny details can make ordinary people extraordinarily wealthy. Today, we're diving into the 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny, a humble piece of copper that has taken the collecting world by storm. But here's the twist. It's not just rare. It's a legend among collectors. And by the time this video ends, you'll know exactly why this penny is commanding jaw-dropping prices, how to spot if you own one, and what's driving its insane value today. But hold on, before you rush to your coin jar, let's rewind. How did a simple penny turn into a 6-figure prize? Stick with me, because what you're about to discover could change the way you see every coin in your pocket. Let's step back to 1955, a time when Elvis ruled the radio, gasoline cost 23 cents a gallon, and the U.S. Mint was churning out millions of wheat pennies. But something happened that year, something extraordinary. During one of the minting runs in Philadelphia, an error occurred that would go down in coin history. A few planchets, those blank metal discs before they're struck into coins, were misaligned in the press. This caused the double die error, creating an incredible overlapping effect in the date and inscriptions. The result? A penny where "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" appear boldly doubled. It's a striking visual, almost as if the coin is whispering its own secret. I'm not like the others. Collectors began whispering too. Word spread like wildfire, and soon the 1955 wheat penny became one of the most sought-after coins in U.S. history. Even in circulated condition, it commanded serious money. But here's where things get even more electrifying. There's a special no-mint mark variant from the Philadelphia Mint that's so scarce. It's become the holy grail of penny errors, and right now, the market is red hot. One pristine specimen recently stunned collectors, selling for nearly $985,000 at auction. Think about that. A single penny worth more than a luxury home in Florida or a brand new Rolls-Royce. Let's be honest. How many times have you dropped a penny on the sidewalk and just kept walking? Next time, maybe pick it up. It might just pay off your mortgage. Or two, what makes this coin so valuable isn't just its rarity. It's the story it carries. Every scratch, every mark is a piece of American history. It's a tangible reminder of an era when craftsmanship met imperfection, and imperfection became priceless. Now, if you're someone who has inherited old coins, or maybe you've got a collection that's been sitting untouched for decades, this is your wake-up call. Don't let your fortune gather dust. There's a growing wave of collectors and investors hungry for these pieces, and the value is climbing fast. The numismatic market, that's the world of coin collecting, has seen record-breaking growth over the past few years. Wealthy investors, hedge fund managers, even celebrities are getting in on the action. Why? Because rare coins like the 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny aren't just collectibles, they're assets. Real, tangible, inflation-proof assets. So, how do you know if you have one? Here's what you do. Take a look at your 1955 penny. If it has no mint mark under the date, that's step one. Then, check the lettering carefully. If you see clear, doubled text on Liberty or In God We Trust, you might be holding one of the most valuable coins ever struck in the United States. But here's where things get thrilling. Time is not on your side. These coins are being scooped up fast by serious collectors and investment firms. Each year, fewer and fewer high-grade specimens remain in private hands. That's why the market value is skyrocketing. Just imagine. You open your drawer, pull out a small copper coin, and suddenly you're looking at a life-changing opportunity. It's not fantasy. It's happening right now. People just like you are uncovering treasures worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coins that were hiding in plain sight for generations, so ask yourself, what if your fortune isn't in the stock market, or real estate, or crypto, but in a small penny jar that's been sitting on your shelf? Before you rush off to check your coins, remember this. Stories like this don't just happen to lucky people. They happen to aware people, people who take action, who look closer, who understand that wealth often hides in the most unexpected places. And here's the question I'll leave you with. When opportunity comes knocking, will you recognize it? Or will you let it slip through your fingers like loose change? Imagine waking up one morning, rummaging through your old coin jar, and realizing that a simple, copper-colored penny, something you've walked past your entire life, could be worth nearly $900,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? But here's the truth. One small minting mistake on a 1956 wheat penny has turned ordinary pocket change into an extraordinary fortune. And yes, there are still a few out there, quietly hiding in old coffee cans, family collections, or tucked away in your grandparents' attic. This isn't just another coin story. This is a modern-day treasure hunt. And the clock is ticking. Collectors are paying record-breaking prices, and the market is hotter than ever. If you've ever dreamed of turning a forgotten penny into a life-changing profit, stay with me until the end, because what you're about to learn might just make you look at your change differently for the rest of your life. Now, let's rewind for a moment, because to understand why this tiny copper coin holds nearly $1 million of value, we need to go back to 1956, a time when America was booming, the mint was running at full speed, and a small D mark in Denver changed everything. The year was 1956. The Denver Mint was producing millions of wheat pennies, the kind that featured Lincoln's profile on the front and those iconic wheat ears on the back. Everything seemed normal until one batch revealed something strange. A doubling on the obverse side, a subtle but powerful minting error that went unnoticed by workers but would one day become a legend among collectors. Here's where it gets interesting. This wasn't just any doubling. Experts call it the 1956D double die obverse, a rare error that's nearly impossible to spot without a trained eye. And that's exactly what makes it so valuable. Most people had no idea. They spent these coins on gum, gas, and groceries, never realizing they were letting go of a small fortune. Now, here's the twist. As the decades passed, collectors began discovering these elusive coins in circulation, and the value started climbing: $100, $1,000, $10,000, and now, in pristine mint condition, it can reach as high as $899,000. Yes, you heard that right. One penny. Nearly $900,000. But wait, before you start digging through your drawers, here's the real question. How can you know if you've got one? Now, I know what you're thinking. I've got a jar full of pennies in my garage. Should I start wearing white gloves and inspecting each one with a magnifying glass? Well, maybe not the white gloves, but yes, you absolutely should start checking. Because if you've ever handled a wheat penny with a 1956D mint mark, you might already be holding a financial miracle. And trust me, your spouse will forgive the mess once they see the appraisal. Let's talk about why the demand for this coin is exploding right now. Over the past few years, the coin collecting market has transformed. With the rise of online auctions and private collectors looking for investment-grade pieces, rare errors like the 1956D wheat penny have become the new gold rush. Wealthy investors are diversifying, not just in stocks or real estate, but in collectible assets that are tangible, historical, and irreplaceable. Think about it. While others are watching the market rise and fall, smart collectors are quietly buying coins that only increase in value over time. This is not just nostalgia. It's strategy. It's wealth preservation with a story behind it. Now, here's the part most people don't know. There are still unverified 1956D era pennies in private collections. Some experts believe that only a fraction of them have been discovered. That means there could be another one, maybe yours, sitting right under your nose. Imagine being the person who uncovers the next verified specimen and walks away with a check big enough to change your entire lifestyle. Here's what separates the wealthy collectors from the dreamers: action. Those who act fast and get their coins authenticated by trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC are the ones cashing in on record sales. Right now, collectors are paying top dollar for certified 1956D double die errors, and experts predict prices will only keep climbing. And here's the best part. Even if you don't find this exact penny, you might stumble upon other hidden gems. 1943 steel cents, 1909 SVDBs, or the legendary 1955 double die. Each one can be worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. You don't have to be a historian to profit, you just have to be curious and willing to look. Remember, every millionaire collector started the same way, by recognizing value where others saw nothing. This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity, about rewriting what you thought was possible from something as simple as pocket change. So tonight, before you fall asleep, grab that old jar of coins, turn on a light and take a closer look. Because that tiny, unassuming 1956D wheat penny could be the key to a new chapter in your financial story. And if you find one, or even think you might have one, get it appraised immediately. And remember, wealth doesn't always start in Wall Street portfolios or Silicon Valley startups. Sometimes it starts right in your pocket with a single penny that tells a story of history, rarity, and the power of paying attention. Stay curious, stay inspired, and keep hunting, because your fortune might just be one coin away. Imagine this. You're going through an old coin jar in your attic, the same one that's been collecting dust for decades. And there it is, a small, brownish penny, barely noticeable. Yet it could be worth over $753,000. Yes, you heard that right, $750,000 for a single cent. What if that penny is sitting in your pocket change right now? It sounds impossible, doesn't it? But this is no myth. The 1957D wheat penny, a coin most people overlook as just another old piece of copper, has shocked collectors and investors across America. Because one rare error on this humble penny has turned it into one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world today. And here's the truth. The market is hotter than ever. Collectors are in bidding wars, dealers are scrambling, and regular people, yes, everyday Americans like you, are walking away with life-changing money. So stay with me till the very end, because I'm going to reveal what makes this coin so rare, how you can spot the valuable errors yourself, and the secret that could turn your old penny collection into a small fortune. Back in 1957, the Denver Mint struck millions of wheat pennies, nearly 1 billion to be exact. They were common, ordinary, and pocket change for the average American family. But buried within those billions were a few mysterious coins that would later send shockwaves through the collector community. These weren't just any pennies. They contained minting errors so rare, they transformed from loose change into legendary treasures. One of these errors involves the D mint mark, a tiny letter on the coin's surface that can make the difference between 1 cent and hundreds of thousands of dollars. In some rare cases, the D was struck twice, slightly offset, a doubled mint mark. Others have die breaks, off-center strikes, or even repunched mint marks, giving them a distinctive and highly collectible appearance. Now you might think, come on, who's going to pay 6 figures for a penny? But the collector's market doesn't follow normal logic. It follows passion, rarity, and prestige. When a 1957 D penny with a dramatic error appeared at auction, it sold for an astonishing $753,000. Not because of its face value, but because of what it represented, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Think about that for a second. Someone probably found that coin in loose change, maybe in an old jar or an inherited coin album. A simple moment of curiosity became a life-changing event. That's the kind of story that gives collectors goosebumps and fuels the fire of demand. And here's where it gets even more exciting. The market for rare pennies has exploded in recent years. With more people turning to collectibles as investments, the demand for error coins like this has skyrocketed. Auctions are breaking records, and private collectors are offering unprecedented sums. If you've ever dreamed of turning your old coins into cash, real, substantial cash, there's never been a better time. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I have the valuable one? The truth is, many people walk past life-changing opportunities every single day because they don't look close enough. That 1957 D penny in your drawer could be the key to your next financial breakthrough. All you need is the right eye and a bit of curiosity. Take a magnifying glass, hold it under a good light, and look closely at that D mint mark. Does it look doubled? Is it slightly misaligned? Does the coin have unusual texture, shape, or color? If so, you might just be holding a hidden treasure. And if you do, don't rush to a pawn shop. Seek a professional coin grader or reputable auction house. Because coins like this don't just sell, they ignite bidding wars. And here's something few people realize. These coins aren't just collectibles. They're symbols of possibility. They remind us that wealth doesn't always come from where we expect it. Sometimes it's hidden in plain sight, in your grandfather's coin collection, your childhood piggy bank, or that old coffee can of change in your garage. Let me ask you, what would you do if you found a coin worth $753,000 today? Pay off your home? Travel the world? Start that dream business? Whatever it is, it starts with a single moment of discovery. So, before you click away, promise yourself this. Check your coins. Take 5 minutes tonight, because the next person who finds a 1957 D-era penny could be you. And if you want to stay ahead of everyone else, if you want to learn which rare coins are still out there and which ones are skyrocketing in value, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join a community of passionate collectors who are turning old coins into new fortunes. Because in this world, it's not just about luck. It's about being ready when opportunity knocks. And right now, opportunity is shining copper red on a tiny coin stamped 1957 D. Your story could be next. Somewhere in your home, there might be a penny that could change your life. All it takes is one coin, one moment, one decision to look closer. This isn't just about money. It's about discovering the extraordinary in the ordinary. So go check those pennies, and remember, the next $753,000 treasure might already be in your hands. Imagine this for a moment. You're sorting through an old jar of pennies that's been collecting dust in your kitchen drawer for decades. You hear that soft clinking sound as copper coins roll between your fingers. Then suddenly one catches your eye, a 1958 wheat penny, simple, unassuming. And yet, that little coin might just be worth over $983,000. Yes, you heard that right, nearly $1 million for a single penny. Sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But in the world of rare coin collecting, the 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny is one of those rare treasures that defies logic. A coin so valuable, collectors are practically fighting to get their hands on it. Now, before you rush off to check your piggy bank, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, how to identify it, and what steps to take if you happen to own one. And who knows, this story might just turn your pocket change into your passport to a wealthier life. To understand the magic behind the 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny, let's rewind to the late 1950s. A time when America was booming, Elvis ruled the airwaves, and the Lincoln wheat penny was nearing the end of its run. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia produced millions of pennies that year. Most of them were ordinary, nothing special, nothing rare. But among those millions, a microscopic minting error created a few coins unlike any others. These rare pennies were struck with an unusual doubling error, a slight misalignment in the die that stamped the coin's image twice. The result? A doubled image of the date and inscriptions, clear enough to make any collector's heart skip a beat. And because there were so few of them, possibly only 3 known examples in existence, their value skyrocketed beyond imagination. The last time one of these 1958 double-die wheat pennies surfaced at auction, it shattered expectations, selling for a jaw-dropping $983,000. That's not just a lucky find, that's life-changing money. Imagine turning a 1-cent coin into a down payment on a luxury home, or funding your dream retirement, or even starting the business you've always wanted. And here's the kicker. These coins weren't made at the Denver or San Francisco mints, which typically carry mint marks. They came from Philadelphia, where no mint mark appears. So, if your 1958 penny has no mint mark under the date, your heart should start racing just a little faster right about now. Now, I can almost hear you asking, okay, but how do I know if I have the real deal? Great question, and here's where things get exciting. Check for the doubling on the words Liberty, and in God we trust. It's bold, crisp, and unmistakable. The date 1958 itself will look slightly shadowed, almost like it's vibrating off the coin. That's your golden ticket. And please, don't clean the coin. I know it's tempting, but cleaning it can actually destroy thousands of dollars in value. Leave it as is, and if it looks promising, have it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can confirm whether your coin is the real deal, and once it's certified, the demand from collectors will make your head spin. You might be thinking, come on, what are the odds? But here's the thing. People across the US are still finding rare wheat pennies in coin rolls, old boxes, and family collections. Someone just like you could be sitting on a 6-figure payday without even knowing it. And isn't that the thrill? The idea that your financial breakthrough might already be in your hands? Let's face it, opportunities like this don't come around every day. The market for rare coins is hotter than ever, with collectors and investors chasing high-grade, error coins at record prices. Wealthy buyers are competing fiercely to secure historical pieces before they vanish into private collections for decades. The 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of luck, rarity, and hidden wealth. And right now, demand is surging. Every year that passes, fewer of these coins are in circulation, and their value continues to rise. That means time is working against anyone who hesitates to act. But for those who move now so the real question is, will you take a second look at your change, or will you let this opportunity slip away? Imagine the moment you hold that coin in your hand, realizing it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That rush of excitement, the disbelief turning into pure joy, the sense of security knowing your financial future just changed forever. That's not a dream. It's reality for those who pay attention. And if you're serious about turning your passion for coins into profit, this is your sign. Start searching, start learning, and start believing. Because somewhere, maybe in your home right now, lies a coin that could rewrite your story. So before you go, grab your magnifying glass, dust off that coin jar, and remember, sometimes the smallest things in life hold the biggest fortunes. If this story inspired you, don't just stop here. Subscribe, because I'll be sharing more insider secrets about rare US coins that are skyrocketing in value. Coins that could be sitting quietly in your pocket or tucked away in your family's old collection.